First of all, we'll just run through a little bit about the company, because if you're choosing a dam, you need to know who you're dealing with and what the direction of the company is. So I've got a little bit of information about that for you. First of all, we've established in 1986, so we've been going for 23 years. So an established company that's started off in graphic communications, photography, including sports photography in the rather lucrative area of sports memorabilia for AFL football. We had a licence there for a few years with Leon Cameron, AFL footballer. Cultural sector, promotion and fundraising, so we've been involved in galleries, museums and libraries for some time, helping the institutions raise funds for technical projects, digital asset management system, content management systems for websites, and doing website design. I've got a few examples of those projects. First of all, we'll do the About Me section. As a company, we now specialise in archival collection management, digital asset management, rights management, and image and video accessibility and distribution. So they're our core areas of activity, and our market that we specialise in is for museums, galleries, libraries, government departments, and private companies. A few examples: Museum Victoria, obviously, doing the digital asset management system and the workflow business process management system there as well, and integrating it with EMU. State Library of New South Wales, there was a significant project that involved the website design, the information architecture, content management system, archival collection management system, digital asset management system. So that's been a massive project that we've been involved in for the past couple of years. State Library of Victoria, we did the website design, and we're also using our Look at Me product to run the bookshop merchandise at the moment. Fred Williams Estate is something that came out of our involvement with ICI, or formerly Orica, was part of our graphic communications activities. We used to do fine art reproductions for their art collection. Fred Williams was heavily represented in that collection, and I came to know Lynn Williams personally through that exercise, and we've finished up doing the Fred Williams image gallery and a biographical website for Lynn Williams. And we've catalogued all the works that are available to Lynn on the site, and there's a private area as well if you wish to register for that site, and you can see some personal photographs of Fred Williams, which are really fascinating for anybody interested in Fred Williams. So that's one of our early projects in digital asset management system that we entered into. One of the things we do for Lynn is we help her manage digital rights, as in licensing works, because it's not the area that she wishes to be involved in. We've automated it to a large extent, and one of the features in the Look at Me system is it allows you to manage the rights and permissions, and if you wish, it's not a mandatory option, but you can embed the information at the foot of the image in the JPEG or whatever file you wish to distribute to a journalist or a publication. It helps prevent the delinquency that we are all familiar with journalists who keep things on hard drives and use them when they're not supposed to. So having it on the face of the image is a really good exercise, or a really good option for some instances. So we add a little strip to the bottom of the photograph when it's distributed, and it embeds the license rights as well as the metadata, so the license conditions for the usage of that image as an option. You can also embed it into the picture metadata as well and send a separate file, but this is another option that is available. VizCopy is another one of our clients who is using our digital rights management system online, and I should imagine that a lot of you are familiar with the interface and using it. So context-sensitive questions about publication and intended usage of an image. There's 18,000 artists under the aegis of VizCopy and 220,000 artists worldwide who are represented in the system. It has a wiki type of function where you can enter new artists and the names of the images, names of their works which are not in the database, and they can be verified by a VizCopy person and accepted into the database, so the database can be grown by the actual users. The Great Barrier Reef Marine Park Authority is one of our clients, and they've actually become quite a significant member of the, we think of as the Look at Me family. We have an annual user conference, and they attend that user conference, and they've actually joined in with the state tourism organisations because we provide the digital asset management system for every state tourism organisation in Australia, plus Tourism Australia. So every tourism body in Australia uses our system, and Great Barrier Reef Marine Park Authority has become part of that family as well and contributing to the development of the product in that sector. Australian Geographic uses our system, and you can see there's actually two portals that you can go into here. There's the colour prints and licensing. The colour prints is a consumer portal where you can actually order hard copy prints of images that you like in the system, and licensing portal takes publishers, journalists and so on into a licensing area where the images can be licensed. Now we have multi-party rights in play here. We have the rights to the image are owned jointly by the Australian Geographic and the photographers in question, and we have a complex digital rights management rights disbursement system operating in the back end, which is integrated with the Australian Geographic Accounts Department, as is the Viscopy system too, where we have the Viscopy system is even more complicated because of the GST laws and tax invoices. Some artists are GST exempt and some aren't, so we have a massively complex invoicing system in the Viscopy system where each order generates as many invoices as to reflect the number of artists in that invoice. So if you have 10 artists in a particular order and 10 invoices are issued, from the customer's point of view it's only one invoice, but from the artist's point of view there's an invoice for each of them. They can reconcile their disbursements from Viscopy. Department of Environment and Climate Change and Water, so we are doing a lot of work for federal, state government departments everywhere, so Canberra, Sydney and Melbourne and other states as well are heavily represented in our client base. And just a few more names that you can quickly scroll through there. We'll hand out the discussion, the PowerPoint later, but we have over 100 clients using the system around Australia and overseas. We've got a few as well. So a long list of libraries are using the system, our ME systems, for managing their archive collections. We have just recently started exporting the system to the UK and the US, so we have our first client in June this year in the United Kingdom, a very large urban design resource group, and 2 commercial groups in the United States. And just to reinforce, the company still has a design arm, and we have graphic designers who design the interface, and just last Friday night we won a graphic design award at the Australian Printing Industries Craftsmanship Awards. So we're still heavily involved in the design industry, and I think that reflects itself in the interface of the software, which is being developed since 1998, so it's quite a mature product and used by every state government and the federal government. We have good, strong commercial relationships with such group as Adobe. We've worked closely with EMU. We've just signed a partnership agreement with Vernon, and very interesting for what I'll be talking a bit later on is what I've neglected to do is apologise for Nick Poole not being here from the Collections Trust because he was expected to be talking today. I'll be talking a little bit about the Spectrum collaboration in the UK, which has great relevance to what a lot of you are trying to do in workflow and could save a lot of money. So that because they are giving away workflows, planning to give away workflows, and we're being involved in that project to help them give away workflows to save you having to do the designs. And we're working with Professor Walter Koch in Vienna on that project as well. A little bit more about that later. So we are Serena partners. Serena distributes mashups, which is what we installed at the Museum Victoria and the State Library of New South Wales to manage very complex workflows or simple workflows. Sun Developer Network, Apple, Adobe Solutions. Being part of the Adobe Solutions network means we can develop custom tabs for XMP for managing metadata specific to your organisation within Photoshop files. And we're a member of because we're going into these overseas markets, we've developed a lot of relationships with museum associations around the world, and a member of the OCLC so that we can make sure that our product meets the Trusted Digital Repository guidelines, and also teaming up with Gallery Systems and a collection management system in the UK. And our Look at Me user conference is next month on the 26th of November in Docklands, Victoria. We said we were going to talk about 3 things. About me. The next one I'm going to talk about is the Spectrum business process modelling. We want to talk about the big issues in DAM and why this has become one of the biggest issues. There's a group called the Aberdeen Group which does research, asks the question of users, what is the main purpose that you wish to implement a DAM for? And the answer comes back as we want to be more efficient at what we do. Access rates a little bit lower, but it was higher last year. Oh, sorry, it was number 1 revenue was number one in 2008, but people are generally changing their priorities. Efficiency is the biggest thing now, being able to improve your workflow and do things more efficiently. Because of the explosion in rich media, you have to become more efficient because you're expected to do more with the same resources and the volumes are increasing. So efficiency is the biggest thing. And these are the three areas that we address in the demonstration today: how it brings efficiency, how it promotes access, visibility and community engagement. And just yesterday at the Government 2.0 conference, Lindsay Tanner opened with these comments saying that he wanted to bring the message to government organisations around the country that what he wants to put the effort into is for to have a more efficient process and to engage the community. So we're talking about the top two here: efficiency and access, community engagement, and doing it efficiently. So that's Lindsay Tanner's message, and it's the message that we've been addressing, or the key points that we've been addressing in our product development for the last few years. So when it comes to getting technical help and guidelines on how to do things, you know, there are a lot of standards that you can adopt and things are fairly well developed. There are a lot of mature standards and emerging standards that are very useful and helpful for you. Can be confusing, but because there's contradictory standards, but they are there. There are standards there you can choose. But when it comes to business process management, what are the standards? Is there a framework? Is there a guideline as to how to do? What's a good way to do a process design? And I think you have far less help in that area as cultural institutions to assist you in developing solutions for your business process management. So this is where the Collections Trust in the UK that we've entered into this partnership with has a solution which may be interesting to you. I was hoping Nick Poole would be able to address it today, but I'll do my best to fill in for him. So the idea behind it is that around England and the UK, everybody was reinventing the wheel, like we are in Melbourne at the moment. But the business processes were being designed over and over again by teams of competent, intelligent people around the country and coming up with very similar solutions, but everybody was using up a lot of money and resources to get external consultants to help them. So throughout the United Kingdom, a lot of money was being spent on doing the same work again and again and again. So British government said to the Collections Trust was, we're going to stop this duplication or replication and multiplication of effort and make it more efficient. So we'll set up spectrum standards, and spectrum standards for business processes. Now there are a few dozen spectrum standards and more emerging, and about 8 of them are relevant to the digital asset management process. And what we are doing is taking on the development of those and making them available. Now in the United Kingdom, you cannot get accredited as an institution unless you comply with the requirements of the Collections Trust. So the Collections Trust is the accreditation body for cultural institutions. They have the say. That's the current state of play. They are making sure that cultural institutions around the United Kingdom adopt these standards and share work collaboratively so that they're not reproducing work all over the country.